morning, good morning. How are you all? Thank you for joining me again in my studio today. So, what a fantastic couple of days we've had. This afternoon you get to see the lovely Claire, and in today's studio I'm going to show you how to do some skin. So my lady's going to have the most perfect skin ever in our two-stage colouring. I wish I had perfect skin. Probably a lot of us would wish we had perfect skin. But I'm going to show you how to get a smooth blend across some skin tone, and then you're good to go. If you do the hair and the face together, then you are good to go, and I'm going to have some beautiful realistic images. I have all of the pens out, and I'm just going to talk you through which pens I use. So if you have purchased the pens and you want to make a note of the pens for skin tone, you can do that. But I always say, if you want to do different variations of skin tone, make yourself a reference. So if you want to do a tanned, a rose complexion, you've got the colours there. You're not going to have to fish around for colours, getting them to match. Write the codes down that fit perfectly for your skin tones, and then you're good to go. So whilst I get ready, here's some inspiration from yesterday's show, so you can get sorted. See you in a bit. So I was just getting myself some pretty jewels for one of the things that we're going to do. So we're going to go back to what we started yesterday. So we started the hair, and I haven't touched the hair since yesterday. I've just left it as is. So you can see how she's got that beautiful halo across the centre of her hair pulled back there, and she's got the beautiful halo here. Now, what will happen when you start to colour at home is you'll do it like this, and then you'll revisit it maybe the day after and think, do you know what, I'm going to make it a little bit darker. But that comes after you've done this two-stage colouring. Like today, I'm really tempted to add some more darker in here to make that halo pop a little bit more. But I've left it because I don't want to do anything on this that you haven't seen in video, because I still want you to understand that it is achievable. If you missed the last two shows that we've done, last three shows, go back and watch them. I don't want to try and repeat and go through products and go through all the pens and the boards. Go back and watch the shows. They're still there, and you can fast forward and do as you please with them, excuse me, and skip out the bits that you don't want to listen to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete this lovely lady, and we're going to do her face. So let's grab some pens. So I've already written down here some pens that I think are going to be appropriate for her face. So I've got YR26 from the 60 collection, and I've got YR25 from the Scenic collection. Now, as I'm doing my demonstrations, I am trying to use the pens across the board. So I'm trying to use some in the boxes, some in the 12 set, and some in the 60 set. And that's only because I know people have been purchasing them all. So I'm trying to show you that all the colours are amazing. But you at home, if you just got this one, you have the skin tones in there that you would probably need. Excuse me. There are lots of blush pinks and skin tones and beiges and peaches. So, but again, you have the lovely colours within the pink collection as well. So you've got some skin ones in the pink, so nobody misses out, okay? So if your budget only allows you to get a set of 6 of the colour family, you have skin tones in there. And then for the set of 60, you can see here, you've got a whole host of varying pinks, beiges, some lovely like pale china, and they're all going to be perfect for skin tones, okay? So you can get skin out of one set. It's just that for the purpose of today's studio, I'm going to use 2 colours from each set to show you that the colours are amazing regardless. So for this one then, I'm going to go YR25, and from the 60 I'm going to go YR20. Let's have a look, just find it first. I do this to myself all the time, and this is why you should do a colour chart. Make sure you can reference yourself. So is it this one? Nope. There's just so many delicious colours in here, it's my own fault. So let's go with this one. I'm just going to grab a few and then I can show you a little swatch. There we go. Let's go with these few here so I can show you. If you are like going to do a little, you can see here we've got varying shades in there, pretty close together, so they are all going to work. Okay, so don't worry about it if you're thinking I'm no good at skin, I'm no good at skin. They will work. The colour gradation is not massive, so they will work. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a swatch up here. Now this is a beautiful like beige skin tone. Can we see that there? And I'm using a smooth cardstock as well there, one of the rules which I taught you yesterday. So I'll just move the casting a shadow, all this lot now. So that's a beautiful one. So this one is BR25, and then let's go with one of the other ones. Let's try this one. So when you put them together, you'll see, can you see that's a little bit darker? Not much. Can we see? So you know, if you did this colour all over a face and then added a shadow under a hair, it's going to work. Okay, let's just have a look at the other two we've got going on. So maybe a bit more of Asian or super tanned if you've been on holiday. Let's see what this one's like. So again, you can see, can we see there the overlay here? So you know it's going to work. It's amazing. You can even go even darker on this one as well, look. It will work. So let's just leave, I'm going to leave these 3 out on my table, but I am going to stick with our traditional 2-shade colouring. So I'm going to go with what I traditionally said, because I really do want you to grasp the 2-stage colouring first. Then if we want to progress into a third, we can. Okay, so I'm going to go with the lightest colour first, which is, I'm not overly concerned I'm making a mess around my artwork, because I'm going to die cut her out anyway. So let's go with YR25. So we're going to cover the area. I always colour in circles, so I'm just going to go in, take it down to the front of her face. I'm just going to draw a line across here because she's getting die cut anyway. And I'm just going to go in circular motion all over, get some coverage on there, lay down that first layer of colour. And because I've used the correct ink, I'm not getting any smearing. Now if you use Memento and then you get a bit of a smudge, I've had a text this morning saying what am I doing wrong from one of our lovely design team members. It's because the ink's not dry, that's all. Just give the ink a couple of minutes to dry as well. For her hair, and then again, we'll go back in and we can add more colour, blend it out, push that colour through. There we have some beautiful shaded skin. Now, you could keep going with the 2 pens, you could add more shadows, make it a little bit darker. I'm just going to add a bit more dark under here, and I'm not going to blend it out. So we do get that cast of the hair. But it's obviously down to you guys at home, what you want to do. But if you stick with the 2-stage colouring, like I've said. So to get this effect, the pens are YR25, let's write it down, YR25 from the Scenic, and 139 from the 60 if you want this look, okay? So let's move these to one side, making sure I'm popping them back in the right place. I don't want to confuse. So shall we add some eyeshadow to our eyes a little bit? We are going to town with this one, so we could pick any random colour. I'm going to go with a subtle brown. I have no idea about makeup, by the way, everyone, as you've seen by my face. So I'm just going to grab, let's get a pink. I'll test it on the side first. Oh no, that's like prom, isn't it? Like, I'm a bit old for all that, so let's get a pink, a light pink. That's a bit better. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of pink over her eye here. Add some pink onto her eyelid. Now you could add some sparkle if you wanted to, but I'm not that brave. But glitter on her eyelashes and things, that's a massive thing at the moment, isn't it? So I've got some pink on her eyeshadow. There. I'm going to leave that as is. I'm not that brave to take it any further, unfortunately. So I'm happy with that. You know, two-stage colouring. She's got a nice complexion and she's got a halo in her hair, which gives light and shade. So let's die cut her out. And let's use the lovely die from the collection. So it's from this stamp set and it's the Phoebe one. Now just grab the outline die. And this is where it's really good to make a note of your pens you've used. So when you come to recreate her, you don't have to worry about the pens. And line her up best you can. There we go. Just run this one through, and it looks like I've missed a little bit of her hair, colouring her hair on there. Have a look at that one. Might have to revisit that. So you remember the poppies we did yesterday as well, these two. We're going to use this one as well. So everything that I demonstrated yesterday we're going to put into a card today. I thought, are they flyaway hairs maybe, or shall we fill that in? I might fill that in, we'll see. We'll come back to that one. So we'll just get rid of that one, and then from the lovely A4 set that we coloured yesterday, the poppies, which is obviously this one, I'm going to use the die to cut out the poppy we coloured yesterday. So I'll just grab the dies. Thank you. Make sure I've got the right die. There we go. And we'll just run this one through. So if you are practicing colouring, which you will be, and you will thoroughly enjoy it, save all the little pieces that you've coloured, because they're perfect for building for your hair and, you know, all the good stuff. Don't ever throw them away. And it's good to always reflect to see if you've grown as a colourist as well. So let's grab our card. And my trusted Eureka. So this is what we demonstrated yesterday, the difference between using Versa Mark ink pad and, Versafine ink pad and a Memento. So if you're wanting to know some tricks and tips and tricks with regards to your alcohol marker colouring, you need to just watch yesterday's video. They're all on there and they're all uploaded. So I'll just set that one aside so you can see there how beautiful that is. Now if you don't like the white edge, just take your blending tool and take away the white edge. Me personally, I like the white edge, but you could always go in and take a little bit off. The 1mm border gives you scope for the die potentially moving and things like that. So let's just move this piece of cardstock. Right, so I have our top folding note card here. I'm just going to pop it in here, and we're going to use the lovely stripe background. Now, I have done techniques with this one already, so go back and watch the other shows, and don't forget to subscribe. A lot of you were watching yesterday who have never subscribed, and you won't get the notification, so make sure you click that subscribe button. So I'll just pop that on there as best I can to hold that. Just move these out of the way. I'm getting a little bit crowded. There we go. Just move some things out of the way. Create myself a little bit of space. It's getting a bit chaotic. And because it's just a background, I'm just going to use my black everyday ink that I use, which is the lovely VersaFine. I'm going to get lots of ink on there. It's a big old stamp. I'll just go with that. Going to go one more time. Make it true black, and make sure I get all my lines in there. So get this base in here. You can see why we use a lot of ink pads, can't you? Crikey. There we go. Good old push. Hopefully we've got coverage this time. There we go. I'm happy with that one. Now you can repeat stamp and repeat stamp, obviously. So let's just move this stamp out of the way and pop it back on its carrier sheet. And then let's bring in our lovely lady's hair and face. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make her look all sparkly and gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this stamp set here, and I'm going to use one of the headbands. So you can use a headband across her hair. They've been sized perfectly to go across her hair, or they can go across her forehead. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to get it out and we'll decide from there. So you can see, you can do one across the forehead, you could do spots or things like that. And because they're quite thin, you can pop them on a curve and make them look a little bit more realistic if you want to. So let's pop it like so. Let's turn it that way because that's the circles are a little bit bigger that way. I think we'll go with that there. And what I'm going to do is should I say, is I'm going to put some diamantes on. So it doesn't really matter if it doesn't stamp that clear, to be honest, because I'm going to use it as a bit of a guide. I'm just ink up that stamp there. There we go, we see that there. So super modern, which is fab. But there's not just the spots ones, obviously you can see there is some like foliage ones on there as well. And I've got these lovely like crystals in different sizes. So I'm just going to grab a tool from my kit. I've got kit all over, I tell you. I think I'll have to use my scissors. So I'm going to use the larger ones for the big spots. Excuse the head. I'm going to use the large ones for the big spots. These look beautiful in pearls, you know, like a true head, lady's head for a wedding. So we'll just go with a 4 with that one. Then we've got the next size down. If I can pick it up. There we go. like so, and then the little infill, the little mini ones, we'll pop some mini ones in there just to fill those spaces. And it doesn't matter if the stamp protrudes through the diamantes, I wouldn't think. I think it gives it more of a realistic look. You would have a string or an elastic in a hair to get it round a head, so I love anything that looks realistic. Just pop one in there. So already you can see our lady is coming together beautifully with little to no effort really. There we go. So before we move on to the next stage, I'm just going to pop on a little video and then we'll crack on with the rest of the demonstration. Here you go. So welcome back everybody. I just had to find a lovely sentiment to go with my card. So I'm going to use the embellishments one so you can see how you will be able to get the most out of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop my top folding note card back in there and we're going to heat emboss the sentiment. So I'm going to use my anti-static bag on there. Now I'm going to absolutely layer that powder on there because despite that ink looking like it's dry, it probably won't be. It'll have a little bit of moisture in there. So I'm absolutely layering that powder on there to get rid of any moisture because I don't want my embossing powder to stick to my lines. It will look ugly if we do that. So I'm just going to go with You Are Amazing. Yeah, we'll go with You Are Amazing. And just pop it in that little gap there. Now you could do it on the black, it'll stand out in the gold embossing, but I am just going to pop it in that gap there. A little sticky ink pad for my heat embossing. I think that should be fine. Grab some scrap paper. Let's go with a gold, a sparkly gold. So can you see there how all that powder has stuck to that black ink? Now hopefully if I've popped enough anti-static bag on there, I will at least get rid of the majority of it. There we go, look. If you'd have not used your anti-static bag, guys, it would have been a nightmare. So just always bear that in mind. I mean, I'm okay to take away that excess, but if I'd have not used that anti-static bag, that would have been an ugly, smeared mess. It would have ruined my card. So because I used it, can we see there? You get a beautiful crisp finish. Just get rid of that. There we go. because sometimes it's a little bit deceiving. The ink is not actually dry, even though it is dry to touch. There's still moisture in the card. So I'm just going to heat set this one. Get my gun hot. As soon as it's hot enough, the powder will change, and just follow the changing of the powder. And you get this beautiful little quirky sentiment in there. Can we see that there? You are amazing. Looks gorgeous. So we'll set this aside. Let's construct the card. So we have our lovely lady here, which she looks gorgeous, doesn't she? So we'll pop some pads under this lady here. Particularly popping the pads under where that halo of diamantes is, because I don't want it to sink in that particular area. And then we're just going to pop her on here so it looks like she's looking down, like so. And then we have our lovely flower that we've cut. So you could stick it as if it's coming from the back of a hair if you wanted to, like out of a bun. You can stick it on top. You could obviously cut in to the hair if you want to. Let's just try that actually. Let's just see. We can try. I won't hurt anything if we don't, I suppose. So what you can do then is you can bring the flower to the back of her hair or vice versa, so it looks like it's to the front and behind a bun. Does that make sense at all? So you know, I always say experiment with these things. You've only cut a piece of card, you're not going to hurt anything, or you can just pop it on top, like so. What I am going to do though is I'm going to take away that white edge on this part, so the white edge is not sitting on a dark hair. So there we go, it looks like it's coming from a hair now. You can slot in if you wanted to. Bearing in mind you've got all the accessories, you could pop a bow in to cover the join. You know, it's freedom to be creative. You do what you love. I'm just here to try and inspire you and make you pick up your products that you've purchased and use them. That's what I'm here for. So I'll pop it in a hair like so. Pop it a little higher maybe. I don't think there is a right or wrong way. You'll probably be faffing with it forever. And that's the end of that one. I will just show you the one that I was inspired by, which is from our lovely design team, Sharon. And Sharon spent a bit more time on the background, so you can see there. And Sharon has, if I actually look at that, Sharon has placed it behind here and on top here. So it looks like it's coming from the side of the hair. So two ways. It's down to personal preference really. So let's just move those two over. And an inky background. So I hope that's helped. With the skin, simply 2-stage colouring, okay? Don't scare yourself with the third pen. Do the 2 stages and build from there, okay? There are no right and wrong ways. I hope you've enjoyed the last few studios. It's been 5 live hours. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you so much to every single person that's made a purchase. It is appreciated, and I honestly cannot wait to see what you're all going to do with them. Claire Manning is on today at 3 o'clock. So if you are wanting some hints, tips, inspiration from Claire and her lovely designs, then you need to tune in at 3 o'clock. But also one more thing to tell you, it's all whizzing around in my head now. I am live on Create and Craft on Tuesday with 3 live hours Tuesday with some brand new products. So I hope you can join me then, but I'll put some sneak peeks out on the Eureka fan page later today maybe, or tomorrow. So whatever you're doing, have a great evening. Before you go though, here's a little bit more inspiration. See you later guys, bye.